Hello there guys, it's me Unstable Voltage and welcome back to episode 10 of Europa Universalis IV. Things are going well. We've finished the war with France, we've gained ourselves a bit of extra territory. We're currently sucking up to Leinster, who own 3 of the provinces in Southern Ireland. Hopefully we will be able to vassalise them at some point. We'll have to see if we can manage that. Scotland don't have a particularly high opinion of us. I don't think we're ever going to be friends with Scotland at this point, but we may be able to go and conquer them. We'll see how things work out. Poor uniforms. England gets poor uniforms until the 19th of September 1458, which reduces the morale of armies by 5, which is really crappy, but it does only last for a year, so it isn't too terrible at that point. Still waiting for Poitou to be cored. It is going to take a little bit longer. It's at 77%, so it's not a terrible distance off, to be honest. And we could actually spend the military power to go and reduce the revolt risk over here. So let's go ahead and do that, actually. So that will certainly help matters a little. And we're still protecting trade and we're making a little bit of money. So while there isn't an awful lot going on, we're going to put the game up to speed 3. I could potentially put the speed up to 4, but I don't think I will at this point because something's bound to kick off and I'll miss it and lose half of my provinces. Our power projection isn't too bad at the moment. We're actually doing quite well here. We're up to 49. We've got 100% legitimacy of our throne and 73 prestige, which is quite nice. There is a little bit of decay. But we are gaining some more as well. And it does help us. I mean, it increases our global trade power and the morale of armies and reduces mercenary costs. So it's very, very good to have high prestige. So we do have a mission, which is to integrate Poitou, which is something we're working on. We can see France are rebuilding their armies and moving a lot of troops around. Not to worry, though. We do still have a truce with them for about another 12 years. So there isn't an awful lot they can do. Same goes for the Scottish. Okay, we have something to choose here. We have a gift to the state. We can either gain 58 ducats or we can gain 10 prestige. We're actually... How much money are we making? Not a huge amount. I think what we're actually going to do, though, is take the prestige. Because prestige decays quite quickly and it does give us global trade power. Here we go. Iron ore quality problems. One of our iron ore mines has hit some low quality iron ore. This has made the raising of units more expensive. So infantry cost and cavalry cost for the next year is 5% more expensive. Fantastic, just what we needed. Leinster has declared war on Tyrone. Well, this could be quite interesting because if Leinster declares war on Tyrone and we are then able to vassalise Leinster, we'll actually have all of Ireland then because we already own Meath. That is one of our core. Do we have a core there or is it just declared? No, it is a core. So we will already have Meath and then potentially we will be able to take the rest of Ireland by vassalising and then later on annexing Leinster. Now, Tyrone are also, or were a few minutes ago at least, Scotland's only ally. France have actually declared war on Provence. Very interesting. Yeah, Scotland are allied with Tyrone. So it technically means that Scotland is involved in this war with Leinster, although I don't think they're really going to get involved with it. What this does mean, though, handily, is if I do go to war with Scotland, they're not going to have any allies, unless somebody else has allied with them in the meantime. But I think, in general, we're going to be fine there. Let France go ahead and declare war on Provence, if that's what they want to do. Would be really nice to try and get Brittany. It would give us a lot more coastline down here. Now, it would certainly help put paid to any of France's plans in the long run. Still running at game speed 3, which is fine. We're actually getting quite good relations with Portugal now, which is really nice. Still need to get Ernest Howard and Nehemiah Anson. I mean, Ernest and Howard, yeah, they're quite English names. Nehemiah Anson? Never heard of either of those names. Some of them are quite strange. But we'll see how things go. And this, of course, is where France starts. Okay, we've now actually integrated Poitou. It is now a core. We gain 10 admin power. And this is where France start growing in size by taking on their neighbours. We have a new mission to select. Our manpower reserves need to recover. Manpower levels at least 90%. We gain 10 army tradition if we do that. Vassalise Leinster. which is something that we're actually working on, and vassalise Scotland. I think we're going to go for the manpower, because I would like the army tradition. That would be brilliant. An accepted culture is lost. My king, we no longer care for the people who embrace Gascon, and thus it is no longer accepted. Their foreign tongue is not fit for our high halls. Send them to work in the fields. And our diplomats have stopped trying to improve relations with Leinster, because the maximum you can have for improved relations is 100. So we're going to recall the diplomat from Leinster. Now, what we'll actually find here is that for a while, Gascon was an accepted culture, but it is no longer. What we could do is still have nationalism. We could try and convert it to English. Now, converting cultures takes a lot of diplomatic power and takes a long time. So we're probably not going to do too much of that. We don't have any revolt risk at the moment. So I think what we're probably going to do is pick these guys back up as well. So we're going to send our boats down there. And then we are waiting for our diplomat to arrive back, and he just has. So now let's go ahead and have a look and see what we can do to try and improve relations here a little bit more. So we don't have a royal marriage with them at the moment. We could certainly try and do that. So let's go for a dynastic action and go for a royal marriage. They're almost bound to accept, and they have done. Now what we're also going to want to do is get a military alliance with them, which is not a bad thing, because we are currently below our relations limit, so that is fine. Okay, and here we go. This is where things start to get interesting. So, failed to receive the following effects of the army tradition, because that mission automatically ends because we've just gone to war and our units are reinforcing. Our navy's arrived in Poitou, and Brittany has declared war on us. And they cite the coalition Cassius Belli. Now this is, in one sense, not too bad. I mean, Brittany now we can actually go to war with. We can't go to war, well, at least France aren't involved. That's the main thing. So what I'm going to do at this point, I think, is attempt to go and crap all over Brittany, I think. We are going to find our trade fleet, wherever it is. And these guys are going to stop protecting trade, and they're going to come back and sit in here. We've got to be careful, because there might be an awful lot of Burgundian ships around that we cannot see. And we're going to pick this army up here. And we are going to come and... oh, attach to you. Right, let's slow this game speed down a little bit. We're going to go down to speed 1 for now, because I don't want to cop this up. We're going to move you out to sea. And we're going to... actually, we're not going to go... oh, we're going to get involved in a fight here. I shouldn't have done that. That was a little bit premature. Oh no, I think we actually won that fight. Let's just land you up again. At least until our ships get down here, assuming that they manage to safely. And then we're going to have to start fighting here. What new missions do we have? Protect against Burgundy. It's going to be a little bit difficult to do that. We would gain the army tradition. And remember, mercenaries do count. So we could potentially just hire a lot of mercenaries. And I think that is what we're going to have to do. It's going to be costly. It's going to mean taking out a lot more loans again, which is really annoying. It's something that I usually like to avoid getting too many, because it's a massive, massive expense. But we cannot afford to lose against Burgundy. So what we're going to do is we are going to get ourselves some mercenaries where we can. We need to get these guys down into the fight as well, which is definitely something that we will do. Very, very annoying that they decided to go against us, but I think overall we should be okay. So you guys merge up, and you are going to... what we're actually going to do there is consolidate these armies. You're going to arrive attached to the transports. You guys are going to go straight down here, actually, and see if we can take these ships out. What do they actually have there? What have they got? 3 lights. So we should be able to win that fight with relative ease. So let's go down there. You guys all move up as well. Okay, we've won that naval battle. So you guys now move up here. We'll wait for these mercenaries to get on board. Lots of units moving around, which we don't necessarily like. Portuguese are helping. Not too sure how useful the Castilians and the Portuguese are going to be in this war. If they're actually going to send any units to try and help. But these guys have arrived. We're going to group them together. We're going to attach to the transport. This transport is going to go out of here, and we're going to start sieging Brittany. And then we're going to go up and pick up the rest of our troops that are currently in England. Meantime, of course, we do want to still see if we can get ourselves a military alliance with Leinster, which we probably can't do while we're at war. Now, they may accept the offer. It says that they will. They have accepted. They're probably not involved in this war. Not at the moment. We may be able to call them to war, though. Yeah, they will not aid us in the conflict because of... It's a defensive war. They're in debt and they have war exhaustion. So if they weren't in debt and they didn't have war exhaustion, they would probably come to our aid. We are going to build some more mercenaries where we can. We're also going to get some more over here. Quite expensive, but we know we need them really. So let us do that. I don't think the Burgundians are going to be able to get down here to these lands, which is useful for us. Main reason for that is because they'd have to go through French territory, which I don't think they're going to be able to do. You guys are going to drop your men off over here. Burgundy are probably going to start sending some troops through. You guys move over to Wessex because it is a little bit closer. You'll get there a little bit quicker. We're pinning the Brittany Navy in for the time being. Quite a big stack forming there that we do need to be careful of. Just had a lot of mercenaries complete. So let's get them into position. Could have done without this, but as I did say at the start of this, Burgundy does like to declare war on England. And of course it didn't help by the fact that we had a lot of aggressive expansion and there was a massive military coalition against us. So yeah, it is our own fault really, but it's not lost yet. How long is it going to take you guys to land? 9th of November. It does go quite slow, of course, when you're actually on speed 4. Sorry, speed 1. So let's go ahead and pick you guys up. Now we probably don't have enough men over here to go and start stomping on their armies, but we do have enough men around to start to siege some of their provinces out. We may be able to bait them out. We can afford to get a few more mercenaries here as well. Currently unpaused, but that's fine. You guys, we are going to pick you up. You're going to come out into... I think you need to be... Should we just drop you straight on Amur and see if they take the bait? It might work. Give it a go. See how it works. It was technically Brittany that declared the war in the first place. So things might work out here. Does look like Castile are moving some troops up. It's not the biggest army you've ever seen. You guys just drop off over... Yeah, there we go. Brittany are instantly trying to move in. No, they've stopped. They've changed their mind. We're going to land on the 31st of December. Still quite some time away. Quite a lot of units moving in. We have got the Castilians coming up to help at this point, though. It would be absolutely brilliant if we could manage to take Brittany in this war. It would be quite a struggle, but not impossible. You guys might as well all group together. It's one single army. Let's just unselect things so we're not getting noise. Where are you heading to? On Moor. You're actually coming in here, and you're going to arrive on the 27th of December. And we're going to arrive on the 31st of December. And those are not numbers that we like. However, it looks like the Castilians are heading in as well. And if the Castilians want to head in, they've actually stopped moving. It is a very big stack, though. That is quite a scary death stack. You guys all carry on moving up into Loire. By the way, I do apologise if any of my viewers are from any of these nations or any of these provinces, because I do not know foreign place names at all. So my apologies if I'm absolutely butchering your mother tongue. I really do apologise there. I guess we just keep on with the mercenaries. I mean, it's incredibly expensive to do, but we need the units. We're not over our force limit yet either. And our mission is to have a bigger army than Burgundy, so it's not a bad thing to do. Now, the reason I'm playing this on such a low speed is because we really do need to keep our eye on what's going on over here. Now, one thing that I don't want to happen is I don't really want Castile to siege any of these provinces, because if Castile managed to siege the provinces, then it means I can't vassalize it, because Castile will actually own one of the provinces, which can be problematic. Of course, the Castilians may move out there. We've now actually completed that mission. We have a bigger army than Burgundy, and we've got the military tradition, the army tradition, which will help us even more during the fighting, so that's fantastic. What do we want to do here? Berry is an English claim. Or is that just an English claim or an English core? Just a claim. So we only have to get a claim against Berry to get that. And what would that give us? Some military power and some prestige. Prestige. What have we got to do here? Improve Novgorod's opinion of us. Vassalize Scotland. Oh, I think we can certainly make a claim against France. I mean, we're not currently at war with France. And they have a negative 200 opinion of us at the moment as well. So let's go into covert actions. We're going to fabricate a claim against Berry. Now remember, there is we would get 7.5 aggressive expansion if we get discovered. Although the chance of being discovered isn't terribly high at the moment. Though it'll probably happen because we don't want it to. Because that's just the way this game works. It does things that you don't want it to do. So, continuing to move in our armies. I'm going to try and get these guys to all move into this province here. Now, one thing you really want to avoid doing in this game is attacking into your enemies. Because, as we've already discussed, you actually get penalties for crossing rivers and if you end up in bad terrain. Now, you can help to relieve that by having a leader who has good maneuver. And it also very much depends on what type of terrain that you're fighting in. But in general, what you want to try and do is let them attack you. And it is possible to bait the AI in to attack you. And sometimes that is the best option. Now, obviously, he's sieging out a couple of my provinces there. He hasn't landed anybody over on the mainland yet, which is nice. Would be nice if we did get a little more support from Portugal and Castile, but they don't really have an awful lot that they can do at the moment. I'm going to group this army up here. I think now, because the flag has changed to ours, because there is a Castilian army there, but it actually shows our flag. No, it's still showing Castile as the attacker for the siege. At some point, it usually flips over and we would become the siege attacker, but I'm not sure if that is necessarily going to work. We're certainly going to keep our eye on things. I'm going to group up any other units. Have I got... where's my army? How many armies do I have there? Group them together. No, I haven't got attach set, so I'm surprised he hasn't actually moved off right now. Just really waiting it out now. I don't want them to take these provinces, but I can still have 2 more units before I'm over my force limit, so let's go ahead and take advantage of that. I mean, we can go over the force limit, of course, as we've already found was quite successful in a previous war. I'm sure Burgundy's manpower must be pretty much in the same state that mine is, and the main thing with Burgundy, though, is that they're very good at trade, and that allows them to gain a lot of money, and that allows them to get a lot of mercenaries, which is going to be a bit of a pain. And as I've said before, remember, you don't have to win every war, you don't have to win every battle. Some battles you'll lose, some wars you'll lose, but you can usually recover. It doesn't matter that they're sieging out these provinces, they may take one. Co is most likely going to flip. But I could still win this war, which means that they wouldn't get Co anyway. So, you know, don't necessarily worry about running off to defend everything. Sometimes the best way to win a war, a defensive war, is to attack and actually attack faster. So they're going to siege out 2 provinces, I'm going to siege out 4, which means that I'm likely to gain more war scores. You can already see, I already have a 5% war score. I'm already technically winning this war. Now, when Co flips, and it will, because it's very, very close to doing so. When Co flips, I will lose some war score. But I'm also going to try my very best to do this. Now, I already said that I would love Brittany to be my vassal, or to have control over Brittany. Now, I didn't want to declare war against Brittany. That would have been stupid. But because they've declared war against me, I'm going to do my very best to make the most out of the situation. Now, Co has actually flipped. As I said, I fully expected that to happen. They may well bring that army into a massive stack. I'm hoping they don't, but it is certainly a possibility. Very much considering, it is quite costly at the moment, but I am very, very much considering going over my force limit and just getting a few more units in where I can. Now, we should manage to siege out Finisterre first. Probably, because it's one of the first places we started sieging. I'm still really hoping that it's not Castile that ends up getting these guys. I hope Castile move off and go and engage, to be honest. And I can let these flip. And these guys can sit here now. It's not going to make an awful lot of difference. I'd sooner them sit there on somewhere they've already flipped instead of getting on a boat and going off and trying to cause me problems elsewhere. These guys are probably going to sit here until it flips over. I very much doubt that I'm going to be able to make them want to leave. No, I just thought it was worth just trying to send some units over there. Every now and then, if you threaten to take send some units into enemy's territory, their units will move out. And they decided not to do so at that point. Probably because the army that I was going to send in was quite small, and they'd have just steamrolled them anyway. So things are actually going quite well at this point. But we are well over the 20-minute mark now, so I'm going to have to stop here. So thanks a lot for watching, guys. I hope you are still enjoying Europa Universalis IV, and I'll see you on the next video. So until then, goodbye for now.